Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Literature at the Beach, also known as Lit at the Beach. I'm Leila Nunez, and I'm so excited to be your host for today. Today is a very special day. It is International Women's Day, so make sure to go appreciate the woman in your life, whether that would be professors or your family, your friends. Go say thank you to them for being such a great woman. Anyways, Lit at the Beach is a special series we are bringing in this month for Women's History Month, where we will be going over great books written by great female authors. And some of these books have actually been banned in certain areas, so I think it's really great that we are doing this podcast to spread more awareness about these great books that go through such hard topics, but they're so well written, so the fact that they're banned, I kind of disagree with that, but let's get straight into it. For this episode, I will be introducing one of my favorite books I have ever read. I was introduced to it a couple years ago, and I actually bought it. So if that says anything, I don't usually buy books unless I really like them. So I hope that shows how great this book is. The book is a memoir by Jeannette Walls, and it is called The Glass Castle. Jeannette Walls is such a powerful and motivating woman, and she's also an inspiring journalist too in New York City. The book tells the story of her life, her childhood, her adulthood, and her odd yet tight-knit family. Together as a family, they're really strong, but you can see where the problems were, and you can understand how Jeannette had to make some difficult decisions on her own. So the memoir introduces us to her wild and imaginative parents, both with big dreams, but both struggling with their own problems. For example, the father had an alcohol addiction, and the mother was really selfish, even though she tried so hard to become selfless for her family. The children in this book, actually, Jeannette's siblings, are really what held the family together. They were the rock. Each sibling would rely on Jeannette, and Jeannette would rely on each of them too. Together, they made the decision to make the most out of what was given to them, and in being responsible and mature, possibly even more mature than their parents, they were able to succeed on their own, which is really inspiring as well. In addition, the way Walls writes about her life, it's so good. The writing in this book is incredible. It's not boring at all, even though it's an entire life. And you would, biographies are sometimes boring. This isn't like a biography. This is a story. As I mentioned before, she is a journalist, so I guess the great writing skills are a given. But the language of this book is easy to read, which is amazing considering the hard topics Walls goes over, like growing up in poverty, having to keep quiet about her abuse because no one would understand her. She would tell her parents about her abuse, and they would disregard it, probably thought that she was imagining things, which is so devastating. The struggles she faced by the time she was 11 most likely exceeds the struggles we've all faced in our entire lives. And I think it's really great that Jeannette is able to share the story with us and really portray it in this manner so well. But before I go further, I don't want to spoil anything. I will now be reading a short passage from The Glass Castle, which I believe is very significant to the book. If I'm being honest with you guys, I can be honest. This is a podcast. This passage made me cry. I don't usually cry in books. I'm not a crier in movies or books or anything, but this passage is the passage that will make you cry once you read the book. To give a general idea, a big theme in this book, probably the main thing, is dreams and aspirations, reaching goals, all that stuff. So this passage is kind of like Jeannette realizing, it was a moment of realization for Jeannette that some of her dreams or some of her family's dreams just cannot be done because of what they are struggling with. So this passage can be found on page 238, and here we go. I followed him into the living room where he spread the papers on the drafting table. They were his old blueprints for the glass castle, all stained and dog-eared. I couldn't remember the last time I had seen them. We stopped talking about the glass castle once the foundation we had dug was filled up with garbage. I think I finally worked out how to deal with the lack of sunlight on the hillside, Dad said. It involved installing specially curved mirrors and solar cells. But what he wanted to talk to me about was a plan for my room. Now that Lori's gone, he said, I'm reconfiguring the layout, and your room will be a lot bigger. Dad's hands trembled slightly as he unrolled different blueprints. He had drawn frontal views, side views, and aerial views of the glass castle. He had diagrammed the wiring and the plumbing. He had drawn the interiors of rooms and labeled them and specified their dimensions down to the inches in his precise, blocky handwriting. I stared at the plans. Dad, I said, you'll never build the glass castle. And there you have it. Once you read the book, which I highly, highly recommend, you will understand the significance of this passage, and maybe you'll cry too, like I did. The passage just marks a period of maturity for Jeannette, and it's just so great. And it really is like, it ties the whole book together. So I would love to hear about your reactions if you do read the book. And if you are interested at all, you can find this book literally anywhere. It is a best-selling book. So it's not rare in bookstores. It is on the University Library catalog, so you can check it out there. Local bookstores in Long Beach also have it, like Bel Canto Books. And you can pre-order it from their website. And that really is it for this episode of Lit at the Beach. I hope you guys do read The Glass Castle, as it is very inspiring and eye-opening. And I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. Make sure to follow us on all of our platforms and subscribe to the podcast. Next week, we will have a different host, but it was a great honor to introduce the series to Long Beach. And yes, happy Women's History Month and happy International Women's Day. I hope you guys have a great day, and once again, thank you.